This is a download from BFM 89.9, the business station.
My name is Jeff Sandhu and this is Tech Talk. Good afternoon. I'm joined by Nick Taylor, ASEAN's technology lead for Accenture. Last week we spoke about the 6 trends in the Technology Vision 2014, but not everything in the 6 trends applies to the businesses in Malaysia. So how do businesses here determine what's right for us?
So there's a few things, right? One is I would always kind of figure out what your business outcome is. So what is your business and where is your business problem of the moment? And so I wouldn't suggest you go wholesale trying to all 6 at a time. I think what you'd want to find out, if I've got a business problem which is I want to scale very fast, then obviously architectural resilience is the key for you, because you expect hundreds or thousands of users to come onto your site. It might be peak loads that you need to deal with, so using sort of SaaS and cloud applications to be able to deal with those. But again, what is the business problem that you need to fix with these technology visions? It's not about just implementing them for their sake. And again, there's some good material. It's available on our website, so the Accenture.com website, and there's some 100-day plans. So if you scan through those 100-day plans, and there's bullet points for each one, just to see what kind of activities you should be driving in that 100 days, and whether they're applicable to you in terms of your business outcome that you want to drive. So I would suggest business outcome fixed by the technology vision.
What's holding back companies from adopting these? What seems to be very common sense changes to address these trends? I
think there's a couple of things. One of our major things is that big companies, there's an amount of inertia to change. So they've been established for a very long time. They may have hundreds of thousands of employees. It's very difficult to make sweeping changes through the processes and through the organisation that has a lot of legacy technology, has a lot of legacy thinking, and it has the inability to move so quickly. So we're fascinated with our clients at the moment about how to get them to change quickly, how to update their processes, how to utilise resources outside of their own company to drive innovation inside their own company. So I guess that inertia is one thing. I think also there's it's moving at a frightening pace. Right, yeah. Even with me being 27 years in the technology industry, I'm seeing it accelerating at a pace where every day something new is coming along, whether it's new applications, whether it's new hardware, whether it's amalgamations of companies. Everything's changing so quickly that I think that people get a little bit scared by the amount of change that's going on and don't know what to focus on. So again, kind of having a business problem that you want to focus on, it may not be a 2-year or 5-year strategy anymore. It might be, what do we do in the next 6 months? What do we do in the next year? So moving things to much more rapid adoption, rapid innovation, changes very quickly, utilising resources outside of your own organisation, and not being afraid to almost fail by trying new ideas, trying them quickly, getting them in through the pipeline, and understanding whether you're going to support them or kill them quickly.
Should companies then have these short-term plans, 6 months down the road and all?
I think there's a balance. Right? So I'm in favour of the 5-year and 10 years plans to kind of look at what's on the horizon, but I think operating periods for companies now 6 months to a year. You want to understand, because in 6 months an application could come out in the market, or a technology could come out and kill your company. So I would be very, very aware of where you're directionally wanting to go in terms of your market, your growth, your products, the services you want to produce, the products you want to build, and be very aware of the market and where that's heading. But be very aware of the technology changes that are going on around you and be able to react very, very quickly.
But even when you have these 5 to 10 year plans, there needs to be some sort of flexibility involved throughout the years, because things obviously change very quickly.
And that's why a lot of our clients, so a lot of the clients I'm working with day on day are fascinated with that innovation topic, because they are fascinated with new ideas. How do I grab new ideas? What's new technology? What's new processes? What's partnerships? What partnerships are out there that I can utilize? What is new that I can capitalize on quickly to enable myself not to become redundant, in the short term?
What's the plan of action companies should be taking in order to make this shift?
I think what I've seen work successfully is a smaller group of people involved in driving change. The more people you get involved in driving change, the slower it goes. So I would suggest, if you're a big organization and you want to make change happen quickly, get a small group of people who who are very focused and are not unafraid of change.
Driven people.
Driven. Yeah, they're driven. They're also connected, right? So they may be connected. They also might be outside of your company. They might have a new perspective that you don't see yet. They might be alliance partners, so partners that you work with, so suppliers or customers, and bring those in quickly and listen. Do a lot more listening to what your customers are saying, because you're either selling products, you're selling services, you're selling something. Somebody's buying, right? You're coordinating information between suppliers and customers, but there's some way that you need to listen to be able to react quickly to what's going on. And the changes are happening so fast. You have to have more than 2 ears.
And I guess that's why crowdsourcing became such a huge hit, simply because you sort of get to know what's happening in the ground level.
Yeah, but crowdsourcing has been around. Like I would say, the Latitude Prize of 1714, where timepieces were developed, clocks to measure latitude. The Oxford English Dictionary in the late 1800s. I mean, that was all crowdsourced. So for 50 years, that was built by people who had an interest in language, providing the basis for the building of the Oxford English Dictionary. So it's been around for a while. I think it was coined in 2006. So recently it's gained momentum, and the momentum it's gained is because we're so much more connected. We've got collaboration networks, we've got social networks, and we've got the ability to post ideas. We've got blogs we can take from. We understand who the people are out there. We can connect with them a lot more quickly and easily. People are unafraid to actually give opinions and advice. There's rewards out there as well. So the Lego example where you can actually make money. Kaggle, a group of data scientists, I think 3,000 data scientists around the world, who are available for you to post interesting questions that are going on inside your company that you don't have to employ data scientists to kind of fix anymore. Those data scientists will now work on a basis of, if they fix a problem, they get paid. Same with medical services. If you've got an undiagnosed case, you can post it on a site now that has access to hundreds of doctors that will work on that case, and they get paid on a collaborative effort that narrows it down with many people supporting it. So if 30 doctors give the same advice, then they all get the reward based on that diagnosis. So again, we're seeing a lot more collaboration. We're seeing a less inability to kind of put data out there, to put questions out there, a lot less insecurity about asking for help outside of the organisation, connecting people with the data you have. The APIs from the government that are being released so that people can build sort of traffic flows on them, or look at demographics and start to look at social issues. So again, there's a much less of a reluctance to kind of get the data out there and to collaborate.
I'm speaking to Nick Taylor, ASEAN's technology lead for Accenture, and when we come back in just a moment, we'll talk about how soon companies can see ROI from the implementation of these changes. This is Tech Talk on BFM 89.9.
Build fortunes modestly. BFM 89.9.
This is Tech Talk, and my name is Jeff Sandhu, together with Nick Taylor, ASEAN's technology lead for Accenture. And early on, we spoke about how to identify which of the 6 trends in the Technology Vision 2014 applies to you and your business. So how soon can companies see ROI from the implementation of these changes?
I think it's dependent on their business model. So I think if you're working in a technology field very quickly, so for example, if you use credit cards, right, and you decide that you use your mobile phone now with the block on top, you can swipe the card, and there's plenty of services out there, and you can see an ROI very quickly because you're not having to invest in infrastructure. You can do it on the move as well, so you're not tethered to a particular LAN cable or a network. You can move around quite freely. So I think ROI with certain technologies works well. I think when you're making some big fundamental changes in big industries, I think it takes a bit of a while. And also, a lot of the cases we're building today are not just here is a business case, we invest this much and we make this much. A lot of cases you wouldn't invest in because there is no case yet. There is no market. You're creating something from the ether. And a lot of the Facebooks and the Amazons, you'd say 10, 15 years ago, they didn't really have a business model that works. And so a lot of the cases that we're building with our clients at the moment are emotional business cases. They're cases which are, if we don't do this, we die. Or if we don't do this, we're under severe threat. So a lot of it is not just around the traditional business casing. We're seeing a lot more of the emotional business cases, the threat business cases coming through.
Is it too late to catch up and make the change?
Never too late. never too late to start something, even if it's just a small amount of innovation that you're having within even if you're a small and medium-sized enterprise. An amount of innovation. An innovation could be listening to your customers, so figuring out through collaboration techniques, so either social media, or you may sort of post customer surveys through SurveyMonkey, for example. So listening to your customers, listening to what's going on in the market, reading publications and figuring out what the next wave of technology might be, looking at some of the examples that we've got within our technology vision, and deriving some inspiration from that. I don't think it's ever too late. And a lot of our clients, the conversations I'm having at the moment with the senior clients are around just having ideas. It's not necessarily coming with a prescriptive answer. It's all about having ideas, looking at what technology is doing, looking at what the trends are doing, and being able to kind of feed those into the business plan and change the business plan, or experiment with new innovations within the company based on those techniques.
How far are we in Malaysia as a market from achieving the agility outlined in Tech Visions 2014?
I don't think too far. I think looking at demographics around, I think I saw that 45% of all Malaysians are under 24. So it's a very young, and again, a lot of the regions that I deal with across ASEAN, Indonesia, for example, as well, very young populations. I'm seeing, the young people being absolutely unafraid of technology. My 5-year-old is now frustrated with the TV that doesn't right. He stands there at the TV trying to move he doesn't realise that on demand doesn't work on everything, on every device, and so I'm seeing this. The young are driving a lot of the collaboration, a lot of the social media. They're driving a lot of the analytics as well. A lot of the job creation is around new skills that didn't exist. Data science wasn't hot. It wasn't hot to be a geek 5-10 years ago. Today it's very hot to be a technology literate, able to query non-SQL in unstructured data, being able to interpret things analytically. So we're seeing a shift towards a more analytic, more data scientist, more data-driven, more outcomes, metrics focused. So I'm seeing a lot of that in Malaysia is the young population. I was talking today to the guys, and I was asking, I was seeing the Twitter accounts. In terms of Twitter accounts being created and those that are active, only about 20% are active. Waze is another example of traffic management, and they're saying, no, we don't use Waze. We go onto Twitter. We go onto Malaysia KL traffic feed because it's much more kind of informative. So people are starting to find their own paths. So applications that you thought would be the be-all and end-all, right, traffic management, let's use Wave, 50 million users around the world, very slick interaction, very slick interface. But actually people are going back to sort of like, Twitter feeds and looking at, what's going on and the pictures that are being posted and who's having an argument on the side of the road and where to avoid. And it's amazing, it's amazing that people will find. And what I'm finding is that kind of under 30 will kind of experiment in new ways that you've not interpreted yet. So again, I think to answer to your previous question around how you can get your company moving along, and if it's too late, engage the new people in your company to kind of think about creative ideas, to test you and to really push the envelope on technology.
I've been speaking to Nick Taylor, ASEAN's technology lead for Accenture, talking about Accenture's Technology Vision 2014 and how to apply it for your business. This is Tech Talk on BFM 89.9.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. To find more great interviews, go to bfm.my or find us on iTunes. BFM 89.9, the business station.